Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Those who are new, welcome. Today we'll be doing the review over Kill or Love from itch.io. I know, I meant to do this review probably I think like 2 weeks ago, and well, I deleted the files to it, both files actually. And so yeah, I kind of procrastinated on getting this review done. Well, now I have it, and here it is. And my first thoughts on seeing it is it has really nice music with it. I really did enjoy the sound that went along with it, and the story is phenomenal. This is probably one of the few games that's like, I wanted to do the review again on it, like record it, but it's like things just came up, and then came up, and I'm like, oh no, uh, I still gotta do this review. So I finally got around to it, and here it is, and the art style is very nice. It's like very anime-like, weebish. Call me a weeb. My friends do all the time. No shame in it. And you'll notice from this um, that they put a lot of detail into the drawings of it. And I really did enjoy seeing that. And it made it feel more alive than you just sitting and looking at something. And that was pretty nice to see. Also, the story was really nice to go along with it. It does take, I want to say it was like 2.5 hours, and it was pretty long, it seemed like, for me to go through. But one thing I do have to say is, for PC, I don't recommend it for PC, but I do recommend it on mobile. They have it on the Google Play Store, and that is where I recommend playing. Is once all this passes and you can go out and be social, well, you can play it on your phone, and that's where I found the best place to get it. And so it was more enjoyable on mobile than I found on PC, because PC, I set it to the auto texture, like not auto texture, auto text, so it would go through for me instead of me clicking and clicking and clicking. And that's what I found to be the most enjoyable. This is part one of it, where you're in the hospital. There's a couple parts that I'm not remembering off the top of my head. So that is nice to see that there's different like areas. So I'm like doing multitasking right now and I'm failing miserably. One of my friends was messaging me, and so I'm like, blank space. And the story that goes along with it is really nice. That eventually it will elaborate on what happened for you to end up in the hospital, but you're gonna spend a lot of time in here. I want to say it was like 30-40 minutes you spend in here out of like the 2-hour game it says it is. So that's almost 50% of it. And the doctor does have a sense of humor, which is nice to see. And I kind of wish they did put a little more into the background, because you're in a room full of people. But in here it really only shows you alone. So that was one of the few things I did not care for in here. But everything else was really nice to see. You know, the hospital beds, the chairs, everything around it. And I'm sorry I was planning on trying to get this out at noon, but, bad internet and me failing to render videos in time. So that's why it's uploading at this hour instead of earlier. So sorry about that. I do want to try and get it usually out between 8 a.m. and noon. But sometimes, um, things happen. And so I'm not forgetting when the options part will show up, if it's even I'm even gonna have it in here. But you can pick how fast the text speed is. I set it to the fastest and the auto, and I found that to be the most enjoyable. So you can it's like watching an anime in a way. You just kind of sit there and it goes through for you. And that's why I do recommend it for mobile instead of PC. I do watch anime on my computer or movies or whatever, but most of the time I like sitting home watching on a small screen. And so that is one advantage. And I do like seeing these developers putting it both on mobile, PC, and stuff. They don't have it for iOS, so you gotta be Android gang to get it. And I did test it on a Samsung Galaxy S7 and instead of my daily driver's a 10R, but I have them both. And I do find it funny how they blur out the doctor's face. But like I said, this is a shorter review. There really wasn't much for me to talk about for it. So, how I rate, I'm gonna get into this now because I usually try and get 10-minute video, but this one really doesn't need to be 10 minutes. It's more of something that really didn't interest me. Enjoyability, it got a 6. I felt like it could have been a little more enjoyable with more options instead of having to just set it to auto reading. You just sit there. I wish you had more options earlier on. Controls were simple, but they could have been better. Visually, it was amazing, so that's why it got a solid 10. I really did enjoy the graphics. 9 for sound. I really did like the sound that they did put for it. It had a pretty good story, so it got an 8 for that, but I really didn't like how the story didn't give you much of an option to choose what to do. And so overall it did get a 8. So not too bad. I don't recommend this for PC, but I do recommend it if you have an Android. But if you do have a PC, you can still play it on there. 2.5 hour game, and yeah. I'm sorry about the shorter review today. Working on some other stuff going on. And thanks again for watching. And do feel free to hit that like and subscribe button down below, or on one of those icons right on the screen. Thanks again, and y'all have a wonderful rest of your week or weekend.